Welcome back to the class. So in this class, we are going to look at basic formula in Microsoft Excel. Let's say we have a given formula. We have some given data. For example, these are mass, this is a volume, and these are other numbers that we have. So we need to carry out some basic operations. So just for your information, in Microsoft Excel, if you want to carry out any mathematical expression, or you want to multiply anything or divide anything or add anything, all you need to do is to start by selecting that particular cell, and you have to start by putting the equal sign. Okay, so this cell is equal to something. So once you put the equal sign, then you can start carrying out any operation based on that particular cell. So let's say at this point, we want to take in the sum of these numbers. Okay, you can just say, you can do it manually. You can say equal to, and you can add 34 plus, you can use the plus sign from your keyboard, plus 5, and then plus 67, plus 77, and then plus 55. And then when you hit on enter, it's going to return 238. This is the sum of all these numbers. Okay, so this is one way of doing it, to do it manually, but you can do it again using a different method. For example, you can say is equal to the sum. Sum is just like the function. It will call in the sum function, and you can see it over here. So this adds all the numbers in a range of cells. So you can open the bracket. For example, you open the bracket, you put number 1 and number 2. So you just come and select this number, and you just drag to the end, and this brings in, selects all the numbers from B3 to B7. Okay, so you can either close the bracket or you can leave it open. Once you hit enter, it's going to return the sum of these numbers. Okay, so this is the second way of doing it. Another third way is you can hit on equal sign. Okay, you say equal to, and then you can hold down the alt key and the plus sign, alt and plus sign, and it's going to bring in the sum feature, and it's going to show you where you want to sum from B3 to B7. So once you hit on enter, it's going to return 238 also. So another last way you can do it is you can come all the way over here, select it, and you can come at the top ribbon over here in the home tab. You can see the summation over here. So you can click to see you want to do basic sum. So you see basic sum. Once you click on it, it's going to select everything. And once you hit enter, it's going to return to 238, which is a summation. This is vertical. You can do that also horizontally. So you can select the whole of this, and you can just come over and say sum over here. Once you click on sum, and you can see the summation of everything over here. So you may do it in a different way also. You can delete this. You may select this and say equal to, and you can say sum, and open the bracket, and then you select these whole numbers. All right, and you can hit on enter, and it's returned the 352 the same way in horizontal mode. You can do multiple sum. For example, you can come to this, you can sum different numbers accordingly. So for example, you can say this cell is equal to, and you can say sum. You open the bracket, but you don't want to sum it at a straight line like this. You just sum 67, you put comma, and you want to sum 55 and put comma. You want to sum 22 and put comma. You want to sum 23 and put comma from different cells and different cell position. Once you close the bracket and hit on enter, it's going to return to 167. So this is the sum of B5 plus C3 plus E3 plus F5. So this is the summation. So this is multiple sum. Okay, so you mustn't do it on a straight line. You can just call in any given cell and sum it accordingly. So next thing we can do, average. You can find the average. Once you finish the sum, you can find average. You can just select everything, and you can come and select. You can say you select average, and you say equal to average. You can do average like this. You select average. Once you double click on average, it's going to automatically open the bracket, and then you select the numbers. Okay, so from here to here, you want to get the average, and once you hit on enter, it's going to return the average, which is 47.6. You can do that also on the rows. Yeah, you can just come over here. For example, you say is equal to average, and you can double click, and just select the cells. So for example, you say we want only these cells, and once you hit on enter, it's going to give you the average. Alternatively, you can insert a row here. For example, insert, and you may want to take the average from here, and maybe you select these numbers, and you can come over here at the home tab and come to the top right and say average, and it's going to compute the next average on the next cell. Okay, the average on the next cell. So you can see the average of all these numbers here. Then you can calculate maximum and minimum if you want. So all you need to do is to say equal to the max. So this is the max function. You just select it and it's going to open the bracket. So you see among these numbers, I want to see the maximum. So once you hit on enter, it's going to return 77 as the maximum. I want to see the minimum. You say equal to, and you can come over and say minimum. So you can see minimum over here. Just double click and it opens the bracket. And I say among these numbers, I want to see the minimum. So once you hit on enter, it will return 5. This 5 is the minimum number. So you can do the same thing. Feel free to try anything. So this is addition, this is subtraction. You can subtract anything. This is equal to, maybe you can say cell B8, okay, equal to B8 minus B9. So you can say equal to B8 minus, you put the minus sign, so you select the other one, B9, and hit on enter, and it's going to return 71 as a difference. So you can do that on any given cell. You can select anything here and say you want to take the difference between is equal to this one, E5 minus F5. So you just hit on enter and it's going to return the difference between these two cells for you. So this is subtraction. You can do division as well. So let's say we select this and say 125 divided by 5. So you can say equal to 125 divide by 5. So you can see the division sign. Once you hit on enter, it's going to return to 25. Very easily, you can do that. You can do that on any cell as well. So you can do it here and say equal to 425 divide by, so you can put the division sign and say divide by 22, and once you hit on enter, it's going to return the division of these cells. So next we can try to look at multiplication. You can multiply as well. So you can just come over here and say equal to maybe this cell. You want to multiply this cell by this cell. By this cell, you can use the asterisk sign, which is the one that signifies multiplication, by 22. And once you hit on enter, it's going to return the multiplication of 54 by 22. And once you click on anything, you can see the formula and whatever you are working on. So on any summation, you can see the formula of what you are added from here, the function bar. You can see it over here. You can multiply anything. Maybe I want to multiply this and this. So I will just say it's equal to this, the asterisk sign, and this. And once you hit on enter, it's going to return the multiplication value. So you can have different kind of formulas. For example, in your Microsoft Excel or in your document, you are trying to define that density is equal to mass times volume, and you don't know the density, but you know the mass and you know the volume. For example, you have mass here and you have volume here, and you want to multiply both of them to get the density. So all you need to do is to come over here and say density. Okay, let's say here density is equal to, so you put in the equal sign and you can select the mass times volume, and once you're here, you just hit on enter and this gives you the density. You can put the unit if you want. Okay, so this is basically how to do basic mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, division, finding average, multiple, multiplication, minimum, maximum. All this you can do using basic functions. Later we'll go a little bit into detail or a little bit deep about the mathematical expression and formula in Microsoft Excel. But for this tutorial, this is the basics that we are going to look at. The next class, we are going to look at the field series, okay, how we can deal with cells, and when we have cases of maybe reproduction, you have to reproduce numbers or multiply a given simple numbers across a cell or across a column. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.